Very well. So, fresh reports are here. What fresh reports, yaar? IG? What fresh reports? No, what the hell of fresh reports are you talking about? 5 bloody days after today. 5 or 6 bloody days after today. Arsenal is not going to sign any players. Stop with this bullshit of yours. Hey, calm down. I've got news. See, I'm also frustrated like you, man. I know that we felt short because we had last season did not have good amount of players. We messed up the Champions League spot. We have some players that can guarantee us Champions League spot if they're fit, but we're short in a lot of places, man. And I cannot afford to have another season out of the Champions League. I just can't. I really can't. I'm sorry. I can't feel it. I just can't. So I want Arsenal to have more players, at least because plus they need to target Europa League as well. And we're going to talk about Europa League as well in this episode. So I will be confident till the end of this window. Like, I know January, Arsenal are not going to do anything special. They're not. They're not the January kind of team that does something there. Anyways, so Mark Irvine says just exactly how I won't say he's negative, but yeah, less optimistic about the whole Pedro Neto deal. He says Mikel Arteta had been hoping to buy another winger, but an inquiry for Neto has been rebuffed. The club are not going to pay silly money after already forking out a lot in this summer. Arsenal are not expecting to make any more signings before next week's transfer deadline, despite Nicola Pepe's loan move to Nice. This is according to Mark Irvine from The Sun. Yep, that's that. We have more news about Pedro Neto where we could actually go and talk about it, but we will see that in the later part of the episode. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk about Hector Bellerin, something that you may not like, but that's okay. So Mikel Arteta was asked if Nicola Pepe's career is over. He says that he needed minutes. He's been craving for minutes. He talked to me a lot about it. I could not guarantee that right now. At some stage, frustration comes in, so we decided loaning him out was the best thing to do. Talking about if his Pepe's transfer fee weighed him down, was that the point that tells him that it could be that he's not lived up to the expectations? Mikel said, I think Nico tried to deal with that the best possible way. He's not responsible for the price that our club pays for him. He tried everything. His attitude and the way he is just phenomenal. Yes, so according to Fabrizio via Bet Victor, Arsenal will focus on signing a new winger Nicola Pepe's loan move after Nicola Pepe's loan move to Nice. Pedro Neto is the first choice for the club, while the player is tempted by the move. It is not an easy deal to do with Wolves at all. At all. That's what Fabrizio said. At all. I saw that. I bloody saw that. So yeah, I'd better pay attention to that. Yes. I'd better pay attention to that. Not only that, there are lots of things that Mikel said about Aubameyang's return to London. Aubameyang is potentially might sign for Chelsea. So he says, obviously it's his future. We wish him the best, whatever he decides. So there's this guy, Ian Abrahams. He asked him, will you look him up and go have a coffee with him? Mikel said, I normally don't do that with players. So that answers a lot of questions. And talking about Mikel Arteta on signing a replacement for Pepe, he says, if we can implement the plan that we have, we will try to do it. We have been preparing the last 2 months in order to achieve what we want. Whether that's possible or not, we will see. And talking about Hector Bellerin's future, Mikel said there are still few players that obviously we are discussing their futures. We will try to find the best solution for all the parties. Mikel Arteta quashed all the rumors about FFP concerns. He says we are compliant and we have heard nothing. So I don't know where that is coming from. No, it won't affect incomings. I think the club has been very disciplined all the time and with a very clear vision. Also, Mikel Arteta has confirmed that the whole team is fit, barring Reece Nelson, who comes back from an injury. So that's really cool, isn't it? Really cool at the moment. So Arsenal's Europa League opponents have been announced, and my God, Arsenal are going to face PSV Eindhoven, Bodo Glimt, and of course, the next is FC Zurich. So there will be a lot of traveling for Arsenal within Europe. They'll be going to Netherlands, Norway, and of course Switzerland. So 3 countries to travel for the whole Europa League group stage encounters for Arsenal this season. Back to Europa League, interesting to see Thursday nights. So Let's talk about Southampton are pushing to agree a loan with option to buy deal for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Wow, that would be interesting. Charles Watts says that Maitland-Niles is generating lots of interest as deadline day deal approaches. With several clubs on his trail, Southampton, Bournemouth are involved in a tussle, while West Ham are also believed to be interested. Being interested is not enough, but let's talk about Yeremy Pino. A player that is of interest to Arsenal is Yeremy Pino, with sources in Spain confirming to Goal that the 19-year-old is admired by Arsenal, but just like Neto, Pino would not come cheap and no offer has been made at this stage. True, 100%. But let's talk about Charles Watts stating something about Neto. He says, Wolves do not want to sell Neto, but with Mendes having a huge influence at the Midlands club, he could yet have a major say on what happens with the winger during the final days of the transfer window. If Wolves stand firm, however, and demand a fee in excess of 50 million, Arsenal fear they could be priced out of a move given their hefty outlay on transfers over the past 2 summers. So now here's a weird part. He talks about Tielemans. Now this is a very weird thing to say if you have nothing to say. So Charles Watts says there's still a chance Tielemans will move before the window, before the deadline, and while it's unlikely it will be Arsenal, the possibility can't be entirely ruled out. Whoa, that is something really interesting, someone would say. That's really interesting to know. Really, yeah. Onstein says, never say never on incomings. You simply never know with Arsenal because we've been here before where it felt like it was going to be quiet, then it exploded into life. Yes, that is true. That's very true. But we're going to talk about in detail. If we have something here, I think we do have something here. Yes, there is still chance Tielemans will move before the deadline, and while it's unlikely it will be Arsenal. Yeah, I just said that. I just said that. Yes, so here we go. Here's the news. Now, Leicester City face a frantic end to the transfer window as a consequence of the brinkmanship employed by several rivals relating to Fox's future accounts. Sources have told ESPN. A problem is that multiple intermediaries with knowledge of the situation believe that Leicester are under pressure to move players because of the financial fair play rules concerns and their projected losses for the 2021-2022 season. Sources have said ESPN that Leicester's financial difficulties are widely known, and the problem is the price tag what Leicester have put, even though they know that they are the ones who will find it difficult to sell him with that price tag. But anyways. Yeah, so now I'm not going to talk about Bahrain. Let's talk about Bruno Laga. Bruno Laga on outgoings. He speaks about bid for Sasa Kaladzik. He said, we're in the market for my solutions and we want a striker. I can see Adama Traore is happy. I'm happy with him and I think he's happy with us. Outgoings, anything can happen. We will decide what is best for the club and the players. I think so that there will be outgoings and there will be incomings. So let's see how that will end up. Moving on, Granit Xhaka opens up about the team. He says, we have a team to achieve something big. We have Europa League, 2 cups. This football club needs titles. This is what we have to put in our minds. It is amazing how fans support us, not only today, but even in bad times. Granit Xhaka is loving his relationship with the fans. So, Bruno Laga, Neto, Yuri Tielemans, and of course, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Never say never. And of course, the window is still not closed. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, cheers.